I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakah, HaKadash, and the Bohana to the elder and apostle of Great Miston who do well and who tout as this 100% truth according to the scripture. Peace, blessing, exaltation to you, Akim, who are pushing this truth to the four winds of the heaven, being on the forefront of this spiritual to make sure Jerusalem is established as a praise here on earth again as before. Without forgetting you women and children, friends of the prophet, who are listening and learning well. In my today's lesson, I have what we call the algorithm of WW3. While everybody is distracted with the coronavirus things, actually it is not a distraction. Shit are happening, man. Shit are happening in real time, man. This world is faced what we call medical martial laws, man. Cashless society. ID 2020, which I was going into yesterday, man. You see, I was going into yesterday, and yesterday, man, I was going into teaching this Israelite here in Africa, man. They have many questions, man. You see, because you have this said world country, they majority of them are not even connected to the internet, so they don't know what the hell is going on. But during the coronavirus thing, people were telling them actually the coronavirus was written in a book written like 30 to 40 years ago, and they were wondering why is this, man, what is the intention behind this. And I was going to the breakdown, man. You see, I'm going to the breakdown of the scriptures, showing them different articles, going to the ID 2020 all the way to the guillotine and how America will be destroyed, man. You see, so everybody here on yes, man, is being brought into what you call attention. The Lord want the whole world attention, man. That's why this bread and circus are all shut down. Why? Because the Lord right now, he want everybody attention, man. Because the stage have been set, man, and our Lord is about to get down, man. You see, there is no bread and circus right now. Right now it is a reality check. So prophecy now will start to unfold themselves. They start speaking, man. You know, and I was wondering, people are following the news, man. I was watching status, and majority of people posted about the asteroid which is about to pass near the Earth, man. And I was, this is it, man. So destruction will come in a completion. That's why when you read the book of Revelation, you have those seven plague. Seven plague means completion, man. At the same time, this pestilence are happening, economic collapse is happening, lockdown is happening, martial law is happening, different strange sight. I posted in my channel yesterday 2 videos, man. Strange sight, man. And this season we are bugging out, man. Chariot sighting, man. As a matter of fact, at the end of February, you have the biggest chariot, man, bigger than Mercury, Venus, and the Earth combined together, man. So all of these things are happening in a completion, man. Simultaneous. You see, and here in today's lesson, I'm going to go in what you call, as the algorithm of WW3. You see, what is going on over there in the Middle East, the valley of Yehoshaphat. You see. So let's dive into it. Then I will quote a few scriptures, then we will close.
Welcome back to the the show, everyone. It's Dina Calmetta here, and for today's news, I do have a couple headlines I'd like to bring to you in regards to what happened this weekend. And I'd like to start with this report in regards to Iraq. It is being reported that Washington has stated that they will act in self-defense in Iraq if its military comes under attack, according to the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo. Pompeo told the Iraqi PM that Baghdad must defend coalition personnel, particularly supporting the Iraqi government's efforts to defeat IS. He said that those responsible for the attacks must be held accountable, adding that Washington will not tolerate attacks and threats to American lives, and will take action as necessary in self-defense. Over the past week, the U.S. camp located north of Iraqi's capital came under rocket shelling twice. On Wednesday, 3 soldiers, 2 from the U.S. and 1 from the U.K., were killed at the installation, while a dozen others were injured. While no one claimed responsibility for the deadly shelling, Washington was quick to blame the Iraqi Shia militias for its launched retaliatory airstrikes on them. But despite the retaliation, the camp came under rocket attack again on Saturday, and a number of Iraqi and at least 3 U.S. soldiers were injured in the shelling. In the meantime, it is also being reported that the U.S.-led coalition against IS could be departing from several of its smaller bases in Iraq after the most recent rocket attacks against them. As a result of the success of Iraqi security forces in their fight against IS, the coalition is repositioning troops from a few smaller bases. These bases do remain under Iraqi control. So some very interesting news there, and we shall have to wait to see if that is confirmed. And as always, I'll continue to follow these reports and bring you updates. But let's have a quick chat about Russia next. It was reported on Saturday that Russian aircraft were intercepted approaching U.S. airspace after the Russian reconnaissance aircraft came within 45 miles of the coast of Alaska on Saturday. The commanding general of the joint U.S.-Canada North American Aerospace Defense Command said that they are seeing repeated incursions into the Alaskan Air Defense Identification Zone. The F-22 fighters assigned to NORAD were scrambled to intercept 2 pairs of the Russian Tu-142 that entered the ADIZ from the west and the north of Alaska. 1 pair of Russian aircraft spent about 4 hours in the zone, near a spot where the U.S. Navy was conducting submarine operations in the Arctic. The general stated that we continue to see repeated Russian military aviation activity in the Arctic, and we will defend the U.S. and Canada against these threats. The second pair of Russian Tu-142 aircraft spent 15 minutes in the Air Defense Identification Zone. In both incidents, the planes did not enter into U.S. or Canadian sovereign airspace. And in addition, just last week, U.S. and Canadian jet fighters on Monday intercepted another pair of Russian military aircraft that came as close as 50 nautical miles to the Alaskan coast. The U.S. and Canadian air crews were assigned to NORAD. They flew their F-22s and CF-18s and escorted the Russian Tu-142 reconnaissance aircraft for about 4 hours through a region known as the Alaskan Air Defense Identification Zone. But the Russians again did not stray into U.S. or Canadian airspace during their journey. So definitely some very interesting news there. That's twice in 1 week. And I also find it very peculiar, considering the state of the globe right now with the coronavirus. And speaking of which, Pompeo has warned against outlandish claims from China. Last week, the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman accused the U.S. Army could have brought the new virus to the city of Wuhan, the presumed epicenter of the pandemic. But U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has urged Beijing against spreading the rumors. In a statement, the State Department spokesperson said that Pompeo and the Chinese Foreign Minister.
You see, you see those claims, man. So basically, the Chinese are saying America have declared WW3 in form of biological weapon, man. That's why that guy Albert Einstein, he told you he don't know WW3 will be fought with hot weapon, man, because you will have a cyber attack, biological weapon, every kind of weapon, man. Every kind of weapon Esau have made, man. You see, they will come into a play. You see, they will come into a play, man. You see, so the Chinese are like saying you declared war on us, man. So the Chinese have justification to retaliate by using biological weapon or any other sort of things. They can decide to to retaliate economically, like what is going on in the oil market. You see, like what is going to into the oil market. You see, uh, what is going to the oil market, that is a blow to America and Saudi Arabia, man. See, it is not necessarily as the Chinese they take a certain virus and destroy it to the American. They can do it in another way, man. So there is no going back, man. Yeah, this is it, man. There is no going back. See? So let's
Had
continue.
spoken by phone, and Pompeo conveyed strong U.S. objections to the PRC efforts to shift blame for the COVID-19 to the United States. The secretary stressed that this is not the time to spread disinformation and outlandish rumors, but rather a time for all nations to come together to fight this common threat. Last week, the U.S. summoned Chinese ambassador to Washington over the comments made by the foreign ministry, alleging that the U.S. military may have been responsible for the outbreak in China. On Thursday, in a pair of tweets, the Chinese foreign minister pointed to the testimony by the CDC, who told lawmakers on Capitol Hill last week that there had already been cases of influenza deaths in the U.S., which were later identified as COVID-19. The Chinese foreign minister tweeted, Director Robert Redfield admitted that some Americans were seemingly died from the influenza who had tested positive for the novel coronavirus. But when did patient zero begin in the U.S.? How many people are infected? What are the names of the hospitals? It might be U.S. Army who brought the epidemic to Wuhan. Be transparent. The U.S. owes us an explanation. It goes on finally to report that Chinese officials have been the second to float theories that the new coronavirus may be man-made. On Friday, the Iranian supreme leader said he had evidence to suggest that the pandemic may have been a biological attack carried out by an unknown actor, but he did not elaborate. There are now over 179,000 confirmed cases of the virus worldwide, 81,000 of them in mainland China. The virus has caused over 7,000 deaths, with over 78,000 people recovering. China, Italy, and Iran have been hardest hit thus far. As for the virus being man-made, I have to agree with that assessment, but as to who created it remains to be a mystery. But it certainly seems like the whole world is shutting down. Bars and restaurants, gyms and movie theaters, sports events, churches and schools, and the list goes on and on. In some countries even being completely quarantined, shutting off other parts of the world completely. And just today, President Trump released a series of guidelines to slow the spread that calls for a lockdown of America, including the closing of restaurants and schools.
So let's go to the scriptures and let's see what's up. This is the book of Revelation 7, starting at verse 1. And after these things, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the heaven. Yes, those four angels are the four archangels, man. That the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor any tree. So the sea here and the tree, it is symbolic for people. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, Yahweh, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. So the seal of the living God, or Yahweh, it is symbolic for this everlasting gospel, man. You see, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the tree, till we have sealed the servant of our God, Yahweh, in the forehead. Sealed with what? This true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which will be their stability when all hell break loose, man. You see? So these angels are holding the wind of destruction, man. So when the elect are sealed, that number is complete to the last one of them. All hell will break loose, man. All of the four winds which symbolized destruction will be unleashed. So it won't be we waiting for the coronavirus, then we waiting another three years for another plague to come. No, it will resist. It will be simultaneous, man. See, it will be simultaneous. That's what you are saying, man. People, it will reach a point where people won't keep up, man. And this is just the beginning of sorrow, man. As the scripture tell you. See, this is the beginning of sorrow. See? Let me see. You see, so this is Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of war and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquake in diverse places. As a matter of fact, let me bring that there is a certain news about earthquake. Let me go and bring it. The scripture said there will be earthquake in diverse places. This is a strong M5.7 Utah earthquake, Lock Salt Lake City region.
An earthquake update, and looking at Utah today, Salt Lake City getting rocked by a 5.7 magnitude earthquake and several aftershocks. A lot of these quakes are looking to be very shallow in nature, and you can see right here, right around Magna, West Valley City, right west of the Salt Lake City airport is where all of this is breaking loose. Now, this is kind of suspect given the area here. You can see right off the edge of the lake, and you can see it's literally sitting between two points of water here and the road or the train tracks that run right through this area. Now, Utah has a ton of military activity. They have a ton of military sites and a lot of underground activity. They have Dugway Proving Ground, which is to the west, southwest. You can see there's a copper corporation.
So you have seen, man, a severe earthquake, man. It has become a norm, man, because every now and then you have up to Mark 7 earthquake. So let's continue. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and it shall be famine. You see, right now, if you go to this different store, supermarket, there is no food, man, no toilet paper. And I saw another news whereas the farmers in the US are protesting, say that this time around they won't get fertilizer from China because Trump has cut that supply line, man. So there won't be food, man. So really famine is coming, man. And the pestilence and earthquake in diverse places. You saw that video earthquake in Utah and different other places, man, like Chile and that which happened in Puerto Rico. The C8 say all of this are the beginning of sorrows, man. See? And verse 14 it say, and this is gospel of the kingdom, man. Going back to Revelation 7, man, is the angel which ascended from the east. He told the angels which hold the wind of destruction, don't bring that destruction, man, until this gospel is preached throughout the world, man, via the World Wide Web, man, the internet, man, or the unicorn. And the servant of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yeshaya, sealed with that everlasting gospel. Then all hell will break loose, man. See? And through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yeshaya, we believe the elect have already been saved. For a witness unto all nations, then shall the end come. When he therefore shall see, leave alone that one. Leave alone that one. Let's go to verse 21. For there then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to the time, no ever shall be. You see? So great tribulation are coming, man. That's why we're seeing stores are empty, farmers are complaining, every sector will be touched, man. Country are being locked down, people are not going to school, even here in Tanzania. See? This is it, man. You see? This is it. You see? Let's see. Let's go to the nursery. This is the nursery and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, says the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the place. For my determination is to gather the nation. That's what you are seeing over there in Middle East, man. And what really will spearhead this is the fact that this other nation are complaining about America releasing the coronavirus. That will spearhead the hatred, man. This nation won't think twice. If we were following the news about what was going in China, man, this Chinese are angry, man. This will spearhead WW3, that I may assemble the kingdom to pour out them my indignation through what, man? A nuclear war. Even all my fierce anger for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealous. You see? So that's it, man. Let me finish it. Let me finish it with see. Let me see. Let me start at this. Is this in Jeremiah 50 verse 1? It says the word is the word that the Lord Yahweh spake against Babylon, man, and against the land of the Chaldean by Jeremiah the prophet. Who does Jeremiah symbolize, man? As the men you are seeing in the street, man, starting with the apostle of Mission, man. You see, they were speaking against Babylon for over 30 plus years, man. You see, and what was their message? They still declare ye among the nation, publish via what? The World Wide Web, man. You see, and set up a standard through what? Through the Bible, man. Publish and conceal not. That's what the elder apostle of Great Mission were doing. They were telling the people in their assessment, going to Isaiah 13, shake the hand so that it may go to the gates of the noble, if I'm not mistaken. You see, conceal not. You have this other ABC camp, they had that government charter, man. They can't, they conceal some of the information, and one of the big information they conceal is the name, the true name of our creator, man. How about Hashem Yahshai? They don't say that. You see them throwing Jesus and whatnot, man. Say Babylon is taken. That is our message, man. Babylon is taken. There is nothing to see in America, man. Bel is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idol are confounded, man. Her image are broken into pieces, man. So you have this elite, they are still proud right now because they consult the demon on the left hand side and they give them answers. But it will reach a point when those demons will depart, man. That's where this elite will be in distress. That's why the scripture in Psalm, you have what we call the power of heaven will be shaken, man. That will happen when the left hand side really leave Esau, man. So that's where you will see how feeble Esau is, man. This elite will be learning as their bankers, man. See, for out of the north there come up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate. What is that, man? Russia, man. None shall dwell therein, they shall remove, they shall depart, both men and beasts. See? Let's go down, man. Verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of greeting nations, including China, from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. That's what is this nation are doing. This nation, they pretend like they are weak, but they are plotting, man. They are plotting against her, man. From thence she shall be taken, the arrow shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. So this didn't happen in ancient Babylon. For you people who like to argue, man, this will happen now. And now nation don't use arrows, man. So what is a modern day arrow, man? Those nuclear missiles, man. That nuclear missile is like an arrow. See, the place where you put your arrow and shoot, that is symbolic to the missile silo. You see. Verse 13, it says, because of the last of Lord Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be a whole desolate. Everyone that goes by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues, man. Like when you watch that movie, series 100, man, America literally became a desert, man. And when they show you in that movie, where is Washington, man, you will be amazed, man. Desert and the bushes all around. It says, verse 14, put yourself in your lair against Babylon. See, they are setting traps, man, against Babylon round about. All ye that bends the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrow. So all of the nuclear missiles this other nation have made, they will use to the last one of them. For she have sinned against the Lord Yahweh. Shout against her round about. She has given her hand, her foundation are fallen. Like now the foundation of America are falling. And what is the foundation of America? Traffic. All of traffic are being shut down. All supply line are all fallen down. For in the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh, take vengeance upon her, as she has done, do unto her. Cut off the sower from Babylon. Who are the sowers, man? Those who produce so that you can eat. Like now are being cut down, man. And him that handles the sickle in the time of harvest. For fear of the oppression of sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall free everyone to his own land. So you have this Moabite and this Guku, they are trying. Some they have set what you call alternative media, and they are the one who they don't want America to go down, man, because they fled from their country over there. You have this Ishmaelite. They fled from their country to America to seek a good life, and now they are seeing America is going down, man. So they establish this alternative media, trying to save America. But the scripture tell you can't save America, man. The scripture tell you we could have healed Babylon, man. You see. So it will reach a point where these other nations they will see America is about to go down, man. They will free everyone to his own country, man. So with this I say shalom. I hope you brothers were edified. I wanna give all praise, honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem, Bakakadash, the Bahana to our elder and apostle of Mitmison who do well, who taught us this 100%